You're still watching Prime Morning. It's a beautiful week. So welcome to a brand new week with us. My name is Roslyn Felly, and this is the News Flash segment, which is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still phone papa fee. Don't forget that whatever gadget you're looking for, whether mobile phones, television sets, CCTV cameras, don't worry at all. We've got your back. We can actually serve you with authentic gadgets. So just make sure you go to Franco Trading Enterprise. You can also download the app on your phone to make things very simple, which is the Franco Trading app. For further inquiries, visit our website, www.francotradingenterprise.com. Franco Trading Enterprise, still phone papa fee. Let me introduce my guest to you this morning. So Honorable and I were supposed to have met, but we never made time to meet. He's here. Honorable Ebenezer Nate, representing the NPP. Good morning, Honorable.
Good morning, Rosalie.
How are you?
By God's grace, I'm doing well.
And it's good to see you.
Thank you.
Next time, make time.
Definitely, I will.
Yes. You should.
I will make time.
All right. So she's here for the very first time, and she is very vibrant, and of course, one woman that maybe we should call her the Yasanto of our time, Janet Asana Nabla. She's the founder and chairperson for People's and National Party. Good morning, Janet.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Great, and thank you so much for coming in this morning. We are grateful. We hardly have women who are founders of political parties, and so I'm happy. We have, but they are not a lot. So I'm happy that you are one of the few. Thank you so much for coming in. And also, representing the NDC this morning is the one and only Honorable Inusah Fuseini. Good morning, Honorable.
Good morning.
Looking young and fresh always.
Thank you. Thank you. Taking care of myself.
Very, very important.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming in. Now, today is going to be quite interesting, so you at home can also join us. You can send your messages to us on 055-157-5757, 055-157-5757. Let me do the newspapers, and then we can delve into our conversation. Now, today, we'll be taking a look at the NPP's flag bearership race. Talking about that, it looks like anytime there are polls, we see different persons leading, especially between two individuals, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and Kennedy Agyapong. We'll take a look at this that has come up just yesterday, where we are seeing that this particular polls is having Kennedy Agyapong leading with over 42%. We'll talk about that. But let's do the newspapers first. So we start with the Ghanaian Publisher newspaper. The Ghanaian Publisher newspaper. Mahama's deportee deal unconstitutional. This is coming from a minority. Apostle Sappho's impact went beyond faith, and this coming from Dr. Bawumia. Apostle Sappho was called to the Lord. We heard about it yesterday, and he was called to the Lord, and we are commiserating with the family. It's quite a difficult time, I must say, not for just the family, but for all Ghanaians, because his impact was really felt, with the kind of inventions that he made. Some called him half God, half human. He was just something else. And so if God has called him to be by his side, as humans, it's a struggle for us, and so we commiserate with the family. Heath Goldfields admits payment delays, spent 100 million Ghana cedis on salaries. Afenyo marking other Slam Abronye judge and Razak Kojopoku, PhD, petitions Mahama on Ghana's Islamic leadership crisis. That'll be all for the Ghanaian Publisher newspaper. The next newspaper is the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Kumasi shuts down for Asante Hime's burial on Thursday. 2020 National Best Farmer to unveil 8 million Ghana cedis cocoa dryer house at Impantaba, Kusikrum. Ghana's foremost tech innovator, Apostle Kwejosafo, dead. I think I should give my panelists an opportunity to probably commiserate with the family as well. So, Honorable, I'll start with you, Honorable Ebenezer Nate.
Rosalie, let me say good morning to our viewers and good morning to my senior colleague here, and more especially Honorable Inusah Fuseini. Is a very senior when it comes to Parliament, and one of the people that we learn from. And when he's on his feet debating, especially when we are doing bills.
Yeah.
In fact, some of them, these are some of the people that even motivated us to start doing law. Because when he's on his feet, as if he have chewed all the constitution and all this thing in his head.
Yeah.
He and then Honorable Abdallah, these two people. But you go to the chamber when they are doing bill and you see about 5 or 6 people, and they are the only two people on their feet. So it's a privilege for me to have with him. Yesterday I called. I saw it on the social media, as we always. And you know, in this country of ours, almost every day we hear a sad news of somebody. Oh, this person has passed. So, but when I saw it, I quickly called Adjoa myself. She's a very good friend, very close friend of mine. So I called her. And then she said, have I heard of her? I said, yes. But I wanted to find out whether it is true. Then she confirmed that, yes, on Thursday, the dad passed on to glory. In fact, it's a big blow to the Christo Asafo family, especially to the children. And you know how close he is with the children and how close he is with the church as well. Apart from that, to us as a party, we have also lost a very great and very, very great person in the party, because I will say without any provocation or anything that is one of our key financiers of the party. It's a fact. We cannot dispute that fact. And he has helped the party in so many ways. And when it comes to activities of the parties, when it comes to programs of the party, I mean, sometimes gives out most of the equipment that he have in support of that, especially when we are doing rallies. I know what I'm talking about, because in 2016, our last rally that we had in Greater Accra, most of the things that we used came from the church, and it's through Adjoa. So I know his contribution to the party as well. So we have lost, as a party, we have lost a very great person. And Ghana has lost a very industrial person, very great person. So on behalf of myself and my constituents, because we have been a beneficiary to him, we say condolence to Adjoa and the brothers and the entire Christo Asafo church. We hope and believe that we'll have a very befitting burial for him. In fact, from here, I've already arranged with Adjoa. From here, I'm going to the house to be with her. And so I will say condolence to you, Adjoa, and your brothers and the entire family, and then the entire NPP.
Thank you so much. Janet?
Condolence to the Venerable Adjoa Asafo and the brother. In fact, it was my national youth organizer who called to tell me that this was what happened. This is a great loss, not only to Adjoa Asafo and the brother or the NPP. It's a great loss for the entire country. Yeah. This is a man who have introduced technology, great technological interventions to the country, and we've seen the vehicles being moved around here and there, and so many things that I think that he should have been alive to continue. But I hope that the son and other people have learned from him, and instead of dying, we are going to celebrate, because he has impacted knowledge on so many people, even including students at KNUST. I remember they were sending students from the KNUST to his place to learn about his technology. So I pray and hope that that type of training is not going to leave us, but it is going to continue, because whilst we celebrate him, then we also encourage other people to emulate his lifestyle, so that they will also impact there will be an impact to the nation.
Fantastic, Janet. Honorable Fuseini.
Well, I think there is an end of an era with the passing of Apostle Safo. I mean, even though a Muslim, one could appreciate the footprints he was leaving on the sands of time and what he was doing to change the narrative in Ghana. We had a version of our own Joshua of Nigeria, or the Church of Synagogue Church of
TB Joshua.
TB Joshua.
Yeah.
Apostle Safo was our own version of TB Joshua. But his death, actually, is a reminder of our own vulnerabilities, of the frailties of life. That no matter what we do as persons, a time will come when we will return to our Lord. So we have to leave a good name. We have to live by the dictates of the belief and faith that we have. So that when the time comes, even though we know we will go, we'll be shocked by our people who were shocked by our going, and people who wish that we were around. Inusah Fuseini was with me in Parliament for a very long time. Came to Parliament very vibrant, very young. Challenge all the established norms, engage in debates. And talking about Parliament, let me extend my sincere gratitude to Honorable Ebenezer Norte for his warm words. When we went to Parliament, we were told that Parliament must pass through us and not we passing through Parliament, that we must leave footprints. And this was what we were doing. Inusah Fuseini herself, clearly, I mean, if you talk about Parliament, you cannot talk about Parliament without mentioning Inusah Fuseini. Being a colleague, that was the nearest I got to Apostle Safo. And let me take this platform to wish Inusah Fuseini and all her siblings my sincere condolences. It's not easy to lose a father.
Yeah.
He's gone, and we can only talk about him in the past.
Yeah.
So may he rest in the bosom of the Lord.
Amen. All right. And so may he rest in the bosom of the Lord, Apostle Kwejo Safo. More stories on the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Fear grips Takwa residents and market stores cave in after blast from a mine shaft. It's quite a scary thing. If you see it, it's quite scary. The next newspaper is the Daily Graphic newspaper. The Daily Graphic. Anti-Galamsey Task Force purges and Cobra Bonsa Rivers, 300 structures destroyed, equipment seized. Poultry industry to be self-sufficient in 3 years, President pledges. I like the poultry industry because I like to eat chicken a lot, and so I'm excited about it. It's true, Honorable. GREL, others starved of raw material due to smuggling. And Professor Inusah Fuseini Agyapong, named Academy of Management Distinguished Scholar. The next newspaper is the Economy Times newspaper. Global price volatility, cedi fragility, and threaten Ghana's cocoa revenue. Cedi falls 18.5% from exchange rate low amid assurance of stability. And ADB MD pushes for NIBF, says it will empower businesses, stimulate economic growth. The final newspaper is the Chronicle newspaper. The Chronicle, I'm the right person to lead NPP. This is coming from Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. U.S. deportee deal a blatant breach of constitution, says a minority. Mahama slams GMO chicken on the Ghanaian market as government eyes poultry sector shake up. All right, and the last story is research in the national leadership, crisis of the Islamic religion in Ghana, an open petition to John Mahama. Right, talking about this particular story that says, I am the right person to lead NPP in 2028 by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. We are also hearing the latest polls is saying otherwise. Razak Musbao, take us away.
Yeah, Rosalind, we are now just about 4 months away to the primaries, the presidential primaries for the NPP. The race has indeed started. Most of the candidates have hit the ground running in most of the constituency. Dr. Bawumia is in the Ashanti region. Likewise, Kennedy Agyapong in quite a number of constituencies. We also know for a fact that Kennedy Agyapong is also campaigning across most of the constituencies in the country. But the big question, as you mentioned, the latest poll as to who is in the lead, who are the delegate fancying at this point, and it was released by Academic Poll, and Dr. Evans Gia is the man behind that very research. He's in studio with me as we go through what he unraveled when he engaged the delegate very briefly. Doc, good morning, good to have you.
Thank you so
really
much.
Great to have you. Academic Poll,
and
understand this is the second poll you're conducting.
That is the second one. So there's a first one we've released, but there's a second one that we've done actually.
Great. So let's get into it. Let's get straight into it. So this is the NPP presidential primaries,
Yes.
August 2025 polls.
So from August 15 to 31st, so just August 20.
The month of August.
The month of August.
Great. So now we have here the number of delegates that you interviewed. Take us through it.
So if you look at it, you see the total delegates as at today before the addition of the former MPs, the former MCs, is around 203,562. Now we took a sample size which is about 10% of the population size, which is very, very significant. So then we, out of this 20,356, when we call them, we realize that some of them, either they're unreachable unreachable or they're unavailable.
Okay.
So unreachable simply means that the phone number might not be correct, it was wrongly inputted, or maybe you called and it's another person's number. Unavailable, you got the person on the call, but unfortunately maybe the person's at church, is at somewhere, and is unable to talk at that very moment.
Okay.
What we did was that we had 100 trained enumerators. So these people made the call, and within every day we had about 20 to 50 of them, and then they spent about 5 minutes.
Interesting. All right. This was the methodology you used, because this is where a lot of the questions will arise based on the findings you have. Take us through it.
So we have in the worst case scenario and the best case scenario. So the worst case scenario is as at what they said. So for example, the person, we asked them questions, who did you vote for previously and who would you be voting for now?
Okay.
The person says, for example, I voted for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and I'll be voting for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So that is the situation as it is.
Okay.
However, you have some of them saying, maybe I voted for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, but I'm thinking of voting for Brian Agyapong.
Okay.
I'm thinking of voting for this person. So we now extrapolate that one and then we add it to it. Then there are those who are also undecided who would now be telling us, probably I'll be voting for this. And then we come and add to those candidates whose names were mentioned.
Okay.
That's where we have the best case scenario.
All right. So then how you analyzed it,
yes,
right?
That's how the methodology, the analytical approach that we had. So basically, we use what we call the quota sampling. For example, Greater Accra is around 39,000, Northeast is around 3,400.
Okay.
We cannot have the same number of sample size for these two regions.
Yeah.
So what we did is that we had a coefficient for each one of them. So for example, if we ask, for example, today, if we are doing about 300, we are doing less than 30 for Northeast, so 300 for Accra and about 29 for Northeast.
Interesting. Well, I want us to get into the findings. So this was the worst and best case scenario. Take me through this.
So if you look at it as at today, we have Kennedy Agyapong leading at 41.73% and DMB at 39, Brian Agyapong at 11, and then we have Yose Duchum, but undecided is at 5%.
5%.
And that is actually very significant, more than the two other candidates who are here. So it means that where we haven't swing regions, these undecided and undisclosed can really affect it. The undecided are people who are not sure who they want to vote for.
Okay.
Undisclosed, they know who they want to vote for, but they were not comfortable telling us who they wanted to vote for because they didn't know who we were, so they were not comfortable. But in the worst case scenario, Kennedy leads, but it's a very close one. It's just around 2% between the two of them. But in the best case scenario, you see that most of them, due to the 1.7 million loss in 2024,
the general
elections, their confidence level for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is actually dwindling. And they think that there is an enthusiasm, there is more of a momentum that Kennedy is gaining. And they feel that they are getting a bit of pressure from the general public that if they vote for Kennedy, he can give them a better chance at the 2028 election.
I just want us to break this down again.
Okay.
In the case of worst case scenario, I see Kennedy Agyapong 41.73%. Just explain for the benefit of our viewers what the worst case scenario imply and what the best case scenario, because in both cases I see Kennedy leading, I see DMB coming second, all right? But if you
the margins
are totally different indeed. Yeah, so just re-emphasize this.
For the worst case scenario, people are telling us exactly who they are voting for.
Worse.
They are
clear about who they are voting for.
Clear about that one. But the best case scenario, people who said, I'm voting for this person, but I may consider this other candidate. Then in the best case scenario, we now add it to that one. And some of the undecided who are saying, I'm not too sure, but I'm thinking of voting, then we add it to. So we aggregate all of them and then we bring it here.
Great.
The reason why I had to explain is that normally we could have presented just a worst case scenario, but data is important as you interpret it. You just give raw data is not, so you have to interpret the data. And this one is an interpretation. So in the worst case scenario, none of them crosses the 50%. That means that there's a more likelihood that there could be a runoff. Now this runoff is where it could have been so, but as I mentioned at the end of this presentation, the numbers is just telling us who is ahead, but it's a strategy. And this was done before they started at all. So as at the time that they had not started at all, this is what was happening. Maybe as you are speaking, the strategies that things can change. So this is just a snapshot as at August.
This is very interesting. This is very interesting. And which other one is this?
So these are the values. So
the values.
Yeah, so the other one's in percentage terms. So it's basically the same thing. So he leads at 84,000 out of, and then he moves all the way to 100 and 4,000. But if you compare this to somewhere 2023, when they had a prime minister, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was at 118,000. What this poll is saying is that none of them is crossing 110,000. It means that it is keenly competed. They are very close, and the fine margins will be with the strategies that they deploy.
Interesting, really interesting. And I think this is the last part we're going to focus on, and it has to do with the strength of both candidates based on the findings. And I see for Kennedy Agyapong, you unravel that he's got strength in the central region, Greater Accra region, Volta region, and Ashanti region. Kennedy Agyapong.
Kennedy Agyapong.
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, strong in the northern region, northeast region, and the upper west region. Then Brian Agyapong, eastern based but limited nationally. Then you have Kennedy Agyapong and Dr. Yahweh Dichum, marginal collation or symbolic influence. They've not got base in any of the regions.
So what is actually happening is that they are getting a bit everywhere, small, but not very significant. But Yahweh Dichum gets very huge numbers in Ashanti region. So between right after Kennedy Agyapong and then Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, what you see is that Yahweh Dichum and Brian are getting 4,000 and 3,000 in Ashanti region.
They have South 40% plus of delegates, decisive advantage.
So if you pick this southern part and you compare it to the north in terms of population density, so for example, Greater Accra is about 39,000, Northeast is 3,400. That is huge. So if you gain, for example, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia wins by 90% in his hometown, and Kennedy Agyapong wins by even 60% in Greater Accra, that is so much, because even the 90% is less than 10% of that of Greater Accra.
That's really interesting. When is the next one going to come up?
So the next one we are looking at October and then November. We want to wait for all of them to complete their tour and then measure the effect of the tour. And that's when we will have the next one.
Well, basically, that's what we have now. That's what we have now. Kennedy Agyapong is in the lead based on the Agas poll, by academic poll. We wait to see what will come out in October, November.
And I would like to add that the margin of error for this polls is around plus or minus 0.6 to 0.08 at a 95% confidence level, because we are using the delegate album where they are fixed, they are determined, we know who they are. So the margin of error is around plus or minus 0.6 to 0.8% at a 95% confidence level.
Well, the race obviously is still going to heat up even as the days get nigh. 31st of January is the D-Day, and of course, a lot of these polls will be coming out, and we'll be attending to them as and when we get them. Rosalind, back to you.
You know, I'm just putting down the figures because I'm like, okay, Global Info Analytics gave us something else. You know, with them, we had Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia leading with 57%. And now, you know, it's quite different, but it's quite interesting because it looks like Doc has the numbers with regards to the number of people that he spoke to. And so we are looking at, you know, Kennedy leading with 41.73%. That's the worst case. Meaning that he's still leading. And in the best case, 51.49%. Quite interesting, especially looking at the number of people they had a conversation with.
And I think by October, November, whatever will come out of it, after they've all done their campaign, visited the constituency, interacted with the delegate, it will be really interesting to hear what they have to make of it.
Just to add the sample size, for example, Global Info Analytics, they are doing about 2,600.
And you are doing 20,000.
That's why I said, that's
so
what,
that one is
looking at the
1%
numbers.
and this 10%.
Yes, because he has the numbers, Doc has the numbers, you know, and if Doc has the numbers and he's using these numbers and giving us this kind of projection, then it's going to be quite interesting in January. And so our fingers are crossed, but we have our guest seated here for that conversation as well. So thank you so much, Doc, for coming in this morning. Thank you, Razak Musbal, for this one. And let me come into my corner. Maybe I should start this with Janet. You know, I should start this with Janet. You know, this kind of projection we are seeing. Now, the previous time, or the previous, you know, during previous elections for the NPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia won heavily. Kennedy, even though, you know, we're hearing polls here and there that he could close the gap, we didn't see it like that. Now, this time, we are seeing, you know, Global Info came up, but the numbers were a bit low. Today, this morning, 20,000 delegates they spoke to. Kennedy leading with, worst case, 41%. best case, 51%. Is it shocking to you?
Very shocking, but not all that shocking. I believe that every political party, or even if you are doing internal politics, you should have your own pollsters. You know that they are for you, but they will come and tell Ghanaians that, oh, we are doing a general, maybe polling on certain things, and come and give a general knowledge, so that people will think that maybe that is what, because polls, what he has done, I think is scientific, and I fear for
Dr.
Mahmoud Bawumia. But we have to usually look at the one who is doing the polls. What is the person trying to achieve? In every elections, we have people that come out to do polls. The NPP lost the 2024 elections woefully because of the info analytical report analysis. If I were to be them, I wasn't in the competition, but if I were to be there, I would have looked for a researcher to also be coming up with polls against.
They did the polls, though.
What I mean, like, they were not like forceful.
Okay.
Because the whole of Ghana, we could hear the info analytical reports and other things, but when it comes to their researchers, we were not hearing them much. Because I would have looked for a researcher to counter everything. Because when you put something in the minds of Ghanaians, one thing Ghanaians usually love is that if they know that you are winning, they will want, why do I waste my time? Even your own people will say that I won't go and vote. Because the info analytical report has already cited this person to win.
Janet, are you saying that these polls are just to incite the people?
Oh, to me, dear, 70%. To me, as a politician, 70% so.
Okay.
Don't allow any pollster to put up a narrative that this is what is happening. Like the way they made Vice President Bawumia to be having, 57%. Ken was trailing behind. Now another research has come. He too, he's up there. Don't allow any pollster to bring you down. That's what I'm saying. Okay. So with what he has done, I'm happy that Ken's people will also say that, hey, so he is winning. So their spirit being dampened, it will ginger them to also start doing.
What if this is very credible? Because with what you just said, somebody might think that polls are not credible. You know, we are just doing it so that our followers will be happy. So we go put together the numbers and we present it to you. But what if this is very credible?
I'm not talking about it being credible or not, but I'm saying that each of the contestants should have their own researchers to do polls for them.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Because when someone does polls and you are trailing, don't allow it to stick. Just don't allow it. That's the truth. Because if you allow it, your own members who would have voted for you will just become discouraged. And then they will tell, why am I going to vote for him when he's not going to win? And then instead of coming out to vote for you, they won't vote. And even those who wanted to vote for you will say that, if this is the one winning, let me just go and follow the winning side. Because we are Africans. And truth is that the Ghanaians are always looking for majority. I've been saying that when someone comes in, when you put up a post and someone comes in to insult you, you realize that all the other people will be insulting. So that is how we think. So with these polls, Africa and polls, you to look for your researcher to do polls and counter it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That no one, you can decide to now pick your side. I'm a neutral person. I can now look at all the polls, know who is doing what, whether something is being gingered by something or not. I will now look and then choose what I think is right. But those people contesting should not allow another polls to bring a narrative that I'm losing, another person is winning. It's not good at all for me as a contestant.
All right, Janet, thank you so much. If you're watching us at home or you're watching us on Facebook, you can share the link. You see the share button there. Click the share button, let everybody on your timeline enjoy it. We are having a very wholesome conversation. And you can also send your messages, leave your comments on Facebook. Tell your followers to leave their comments too. And if you are not watching us on Facebook and you're at home, you can send your messages to us on 055-157-5757. But let me ask you, Honorable Fuseini, what is actually making Kennedy so popular amongst the grassroots?
Well, I think that you need to understand that Kennedy is maintaining a run. The run started in the last elections, where Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was the institutional candidate of the NPP. Kennedy was almost like a rebel, and he had rebelled against the establishment. And look at his showing. Now, it appears to me that there is some fire in the belly of Kennedy. He really wants the presidency. Whatever he's coming to the presidency to do is not that very clear yet. But his disposition is convincing people that probably this is the person that we want as a party. Now, he's somehow divorced himself from the establishment. And you cannot link Kennedy, but any stretch of imagination, to the previous regime, when he didn't even serve in government. He stood up against the establishment. So if there's going to be any viable alternative to Bawumia, naturally, it will be Kennedy Agyapong. Now, I like the polls because they offer us a scientific basis for doing analysis, and data is good. Data speaks to us, and we can interrogate same. It says, look, we took 10% of the voting population of the delegates of NPP, and this is what we get. Now, from the data, worst case scenario, best case scenario, you see that Kennedy Agyapong gains. Worst case scenario, he beats Dr. Bawumia. Best case scenario, Dr. Bawumia's votes reduces. And all the other contestants reduces. The only thing that doesn't reduce from his data are the undecided voters and those who do not want to disclose. So, meaning the movement appears to be in favor of Kennedy Agyapong. Now, his marketing strategy, and he's a politician, he's campaigned severally to be in parliament. His marketing strategy is to target the critical segment of this society, the youth, and particularly the youth in NPP. They felt let down by the NPP administration. Their felt needs were not addressed.
So in this case, you say that it's a case of dissatisfaction
with the establishment itself. So you need somebody who will present a radical change from the status quo, the established norm. And the NPP delegates see that in Kennedy Agyapong. I'm not saying that Kennedy Agyapong is presenting a persona that is projecting him as somebody who will be an effective president. But the people have not forgiven, the people in NPP, their sympathizers and voters, supporters, have not forgiven the NPP for disappointing them so disastrously in the way they govern this country. And so they are looking for somebody who will start up that disappointment, who will restore hope and confidence. They see in Dr. Bawumia a continuation
of the establishment. All right, so Honorable Ebenezer Nartey, taking a look at this, where we have just about 4 months to go to the polls. January, you go to the polls. These two main figures, both spiritually and physically, you're hearing. Different prophets saying, one prophet says this person, the other prophet says that person. When it comes to polls, same thing is happening. Is it quite surprising for you as a member of the party that not too long ago, Dr. Bawumia was leading with Global Info Analytics with 57%, and when we hear of today's own, we are hearing it in a different realm where Kennedy Agyapong is leading?
Rosalie, thank you. I appreciate the presentation being done by the researcher. in respect of our presidential primaries. For me, I think that you will not underrate anybody when it comes to an election. Because when you underrate the person, you have a shock of your life. That is his view. He have given us data, the number of people that they spoke to.
20,000.
The number of people that they were not able to reach out to. The number of people they reach out to but could not tell them where they stand.
Right.
For me, all the 5 candidates, if we get hold of these data, we'll work towards the data.
Right.
That if we have close to about 400,000 delegates who are supposed to cast their vote on the 31st of January 2026, and 20,000 of them have been reached out. Don't underestimate the number 20,000. Whether it is 10,000 or 5,000 or 2,000, don't underrate the number that the researcher has brought up. What you need to do is to work towards the 20,000 to ensure that, yes, indeed, you are getting them back. And how do I get them back? You work towards it. To be honest and sincere with you, looking at the regional data that he gave, I agree with him perfectly.
Right.
I don't doubt it. The regional, how do you call it, data that he did. Greater Accra, Central Region.
Yeah. So he was saying that Kennedy Agyapong is strong in the Central, Greater Accra, Volta, and Ashanti, and Dr. Bawumia is strong in Northing, Northeast, and Upper West.
Yes. So when it comes to Greater Accra, I'm in Greater Accra, and I can tell you for a fact that yes, if you say Kennedy is ahead of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, I may not doubt him.
In Greater Accra?
In Greater Accra. So what we do, or what would Dr. Bawumia's camp do to ensure that we turn out the data that he has presented in Greater Accra region? I'm saying this because in the last election, when you check the data, Kennedy won in Greater Accra. He won in Central region. I'm not too sure about Volta. So when you compare it, you can see, yes, indeed, in one way or the other, he will maintain his original vote that he have in Greater Accra region and then in Central region. So how do the other candidates work towards his vote that he had in Greater Accra region to get the votes back? And there are some people who were not part of the last presidential primaries, like Dr. Brian Champon. He was not part of it. This time around, he's contesting. He might also have a base in Greater Accra region, in the sense that where he is coming from, we have a lot of them in Greater Accra region. And some will decide that, oh, he's coming from my region, so let me what? True to his line and vote for him. Some will say that, yes, for me, I believe strongly that, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has been given a chance.
Okay.
He could not win as the presidential. So therefore, let's give another person the opportunity. From where I sit, I will not say that we will not work with this research.
Do you think that Kennedy is giving a certain campaign message that it's, letting the people buy into it?
I have not listened to his campaign message. I have not.
Not at all?
Not at all.
But you belong to the party.
Oh, but it doesn't mean that...
Are you a delegate? Yes, you are. So how is it
I'm 100% delegate.
So how is it that you haven't listened to his campaign message? Are you not looking for the for the best of the party?
I'm looking for the best of the party.
Yeah.
And for me, I believe strongly that the best of the party is no other person than Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia.
Okay.
So for me, my concentration and my energy will be channeled into the work of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to ensure that he becomes the flag bearer of the party.
What about him do you like? What about him do you think will make the party
I believe
get the seats back?
I believe there are a lot of things that he can offer this country. There are a lot of things that he said when we're in government.
What are some of the things?
Oh, Rosaline, most of the things that we initiated in our government was part of it. Where in today's government NDC criticized against it, that today, most of the things that he said are coming into reality and they are for it. For me, I strongly believe that, look, I saw a video of a teacher asking, how do you call it, students, who the vice president of this country is. About 95% of the children were mentioning Bawumia's name. They don't even know the vice president. And I can say for a fact, look, you can even go to the street now and even ask an elderly person who is the vice president of this guy. You still mention Bawumia's name. It's a household name today. He has campaigned from 2008 to date. Everywhere in this country, he has been.
Okay.
Me, one thing I don't like about politics is about people bringing religious and ethnic into it.
Talking about that, I know we don't like it, but unfortunately it plays a role. So will you say that ethnicity is playing a role, a key role for Kennedy Agyapong in this instance, Janet?
As for ethnicity, it plays a role in everything. So even though I don't think that as politicians, we should be toning that line whereby you refuse to vote for someone because the person is a northerner or the person is a Muslim. But I think ethnicity and religion, it plays a very, 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 very big role when we are doing things. But with the national, looking at our national elections, do you know a lot of people are not even aware that President Mahama is a Christian? Some people don't know that he's a Christian. The truth is that the reason why people are paying much importance to Bawumia has to do with them staying in power for 8 years. People got fed up with them and wanted them out. So it wasn't because he was a Muslim. If the NDC was to present a Muslim candidate, the person would have still won, hands down. It wasn't because President Mahama was having something distinct that made Ghanaians to vote for him. It was just because the people were tired with the NPP and they needed a change. And when they need a change, they are not looking at your religious background.
If you say they were tired, tired of what? Tired of the fact that they stayed 8 years, or tired of what?
Tired of being there for 8 years, number one. Two, talking about prices of goods and services in the market. People were suffering and they were crying and they were not listening to them. A lot of things were happening, especially the Galamsey. People wanted the president to put a state of emergency on Galamsey. The president was not doing that. A lot of things that were happening that they should have taken notice of, that they couldn't. And that made the people of Ghana to push them out. I've been telling people, someone told me that the reason why they voted them out was because they were not respecting chiefs, and it's not true. It wasn't because of chiefs. It was the hardship that made the people of Ghana to make a decision. But when you even look at the voting pattern, you will realize that Ghanaians didn't even vote. The truth is that they don't trust both the NPP and the NDC. That's the truth. They got tired of the NPP and they know the NDC already, that these are people who say things and they don't do. So when you look at 19 million voter population and they got 6 million, I heard President Mahama during the presidential media encounter saying that we overwhelmingly, and I said no, 6 million out of 19 million is not overwhelming. People rejected these two political parties. And I think that instead of them, one person getting 6 million and rejoicing, they should go back to the drawing board And look at what they have done that made Ghanaians to now just not like politics again. They just want to give up. They never came out to vote. It was the NDC people who came out, the 6 million. When you look at 2020 elections, they got 6 million. And they got the same 6 million. So it was their party members that came out and voted for them. Ghanaians, floating voters, refused to either give their votes to the NPP or the NDC.
So then it brings us to the whole issue of, the establishments. You know what I mean? Because if we are looking at voter apathy, where we are saying that most people didn't come out to vote, could it also be, just like Honorable Fuseini said, that the people, the grassroots, were not happy with the establishment? And so bringing back the same establishment, because as people feel Dr. Bawumia is the establishment. And so people feel, okay, if we vote for him, it's still the same people we are bringing back.
With the NPP, it had nothing to do with the candidate. It was their performance. In fact, whilst we were going to elections, they were increasing petrol prices. It's like they wanted to die. So when somebody wants to get out of the issue, and they didn't want to win the elections, because all things that are not supposed to be done during election period, they did it.
Are people still tie Dr. Bawumia to the establishment?
He was part of it. Was he not the vice president?
Could that be the reason why we are seeing Kennedy's numbers increase?
It can be. It can be that still, it's just how many months, 9 months down the lane, maybe people are still angry and then they are still thinking of other things. But with what the NDC is also doing, Ghanaians, I don't want to say much.
Tell us.
Because
looking at,
because if you are a political party and you come in with a manifesto, the people of Ghana respect that manifesto because they expect you to be a patriotic person. They expect you to be truthful. So when you come in with a manifesto and after they buy into that manifesto, you go behind the manifesto to act in a different way. You are creating more problems for some of us because you are telling more and more Ghanaians not to put their trust on politicians. So now the people of Ghana are becoming more and more confused, and what they are now sticking onto is to just leave politics. They don't want to hear. Don't tell me about NPP. Don't tell me about NDC. The PMP that they should have been listening to, they said we usually swerve to either one party or another, so they don't want to listen. It's not true. It's not true. It's just that they are not listening to us. I can speak in favor of NPP based on one reason and in favor of NDC based on another reason. But they are not just listening. They are so tired because of these two political parties.
Okay.
And they are acting in a way that is not good for all of us at this particular moment.
Okay. Honorable Fuseini, at this point, if Kennedy continues to lead, what does the future of the MPP look like?
Well, so the MPP itself, the default state of the MPP is disarray presently because they're trying to get their house in order, but they're doing it the wrong way. We have always known that when you go to elections and lose an election, you need to look at the whole institutional establishment. What went wrong? Now, why did the voters not come out to vote? Because you see, it is not for nothing that we have more than 20,000 polling stations. It's not for nothing. That's how we organize our elections. Now we have 275 constituencies.
Now
276 constituencies. That we have one constituency for the president. That the constituency is Ghana. But all these structures work to produce that one person. So when the structures fail to produce a person, you must go back and audit the structures. What went wrong? Now I'm talking about my sister, and it is Nabila. When you were trying to call it, you couldn't call it.
Oh, it's Nabila. Oh, they didn't spell it well. Sorry, forgive me. Let me see.
Janet Nabla.
Yes, it's Nabila. Yes. So
wait, it was spelled. I have to get it right. It was spelled Nabla, but
yes.
it's Nabila.
Nabila.
Nabla. So,
Okay. Then forgive me. Forgive me. All right. Okay. So it's spelled Nabla,
yes.
but it's
like
pronounced Nabila.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Now, so in elections, when your supporters refuse to come out to vote, they are in fact voting the other party. That's how elections work. That is why in 2016, NPP could say that we won the elections by close to 1 million votes. Then you go to voter region and see that the Voltarians were so dissatisfied with the performance of NDC under Atamils and John Dramani Mahama that they decided that they wouldn't vote. But NPP got 1 million votes difference. So in an election, when your people refuse to come out and vote, they are in fact voting against you. Now, two, why did they refuse to come out and vote? They are your members. Was it the structures which was unable to whip them into line, or was it that they were dissatisfied with your performance? Two or three, Ghana has somehow crystallized a two-term system. So 8 years. So there's a voter fatigue. So if you are a party that wants to break the 8, you must do things in an exceptional way. You must rule the country, deliver on your promises, bring prosperity to the nation that the people will feel confident in maintaining. They see the run, so they want to maintain you. But whether you like it or not, there is a voter, there is that tiredness. That voter apathy will come in 2000, after 8 years. So, but the NPP did not demonstrate that. And it was not only Musa Dankwa, my sister, who said that NPP was losing the elections. Finch said that NPP was losing the elections. Almost all international organizations said NPP was losing the elections. And so, now, but NPP refused. They derided themselves into thinking that they will win. And the people said, we won't vote you, including their own members. NDC got this high number of votes. You think that it was only NDC sympathizers who voted the party? No. No. Some NPP sympathizers voted the NDC because they thought that if John Dramani Mahama performed this way between 2013 to 2016, then we said he was so incompetent. Then he left a set of indicators where the country was going for us. And you have come, you paraded and prided yourself for having all the men to do the work. Then you have come and you have not been able to improve on one indicator. That His Excellency John Dramani Mahama left. Then we cannot then say that he was incompetent because we voted you because we wanted you to improve upon the indicators. You gave us assurances that you could do that for us, and you failed to do that.
Okay.
So for elections, yes, traditionally, or even the laws of Ghana frown upon chieftaincy, tribal ethnicity, and all in politics. Yeah, that's why we have the Avoidance of Discrimination Act in this country, because they are divisive, they are polarizing. They don't adequately reflect the aspirations of the people. People vote based on emotions. And so we have always known that that can influence our elections. And that's why we brought in that law in the Nkrumah's era. So, yes, I do not think that religion should play a role, but it plays. I do not think that ethnicity should play a role, but it plays. I do not think that where you come from should play a role, but it plays. If not, NDC will not say our stronghold is Volta region. If not, the NPP will not say that their stronghold is Ashanti region.
Well, that's where the issue is, and that's what I said earlier. I think we have to move on to the next topic. But I know Honorable hasn't taken his bite on this one the second time, so please, just 2 minutes so that I can move on to the next topic.
The minister spoke for about 6 minutes.
I beg you.
But
else we'll move on to the next topic.
I should have rather even been given the chance to talk more. We are not in our part.
You are supporting one candidate, so they can give you.
The minister talked about, and you also said the same thing, establishment candidates. For me, I keep on asking myself, when we talk about establishment candidates, what are we referring to?
So that is the narrative out there, that the establishment is behind Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
That is absolutely wrong.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Then isn't
because
it time that...
when we were in government...
Oh, no, well, let me ask you this. Then isn't it time that you brand your candidates in a different way? Because in the eyes of men, the establishment is behind him. And probably that would be affecting him.
When you say establishment, I don't understand.
Establishment is the government. You know, at that time, the body, body.
And that is what I'm saying, that it is absolutely wrong. Because there were people in government at that time who were ministers, who were deputy ministers, who were DCs, who were CEOs, who were supporting Kennedy Agyapong, who were supporting Kennedy Agyapong, and other candidates as well. Today, as I'm speaking with you, we are not in government. So when you talk about establishment candidates, what are we referring to? They are ministers, they are ambassadors who are following Kennedy Agyapong going around. If I don't know anybody at all, I know of Asoma Chemi, who has been a minister for lands and forestry, who has been a regional minister, who has been an ambassador following Kennedy Agyapong. If I don't know anybody at all, I know of my own sister and friend Abra Osasari supporting Kennedy Agyapong. We have MPs who are supporting, we have former MPs supporting Kennedy Agyapong, and others supporting Brian Champo. Look, I can say that I have about 10 or 15 former MPs who are in Brian Champo's office 24/7. Key campaign team members of Brian Champo. And these people, some of them were former ministers and former deputy ministers. And the same applies to Dr. Bawumia. So when you talk about established candidates, what are we talking about? It is a choice. I feel that Dr. Bawumia should be the candidate for us. Somebody also feel that Kennedy Agyapong is also... So if we have the majority of people who have hold position in government supporting Dr. Bawumia, does it mean that it's an establishment candidate? Can we also say that during the NDC administration, where all of them, national officers and what have you, supporting John Mahama, is he also an establishment candidate? No, it's a choice of the people. And we will be going for constituency, regional. Let me give you an example. Somebody called me in my constituency that he want to run for a youth organizer position. And I told him, I'm sorry, I can't support you. I told him point blank. I said, I also have somebody I want you to support. There's no way I'll support you. Somebody sent me a message yesterday. Now, one of the aspirants in the constituency youth organizer position wanted to come and see me. I said, for what? He said, he wanted to come and tell me that he wanted to run. I said, no, I have a candidate. That is me. I say it just as it is.
Okay.
So if people decided that, look, for me, I'm for this person, I'm for this person, it does not mean the person is an established candidate. It is the choice of the people. Nobody is holding anybody's hands or forcing anybody to support any candidate. It is their choice.
All right.
And if their choice is to support the person, so be it.
Honorable, then, so then it brings us to how then do we change that narrative? Because what is being said here is not us, but this is what people are saying. How are you going to change this narrative?
No, you see, because people will continue to say that because of the number of people who have hold government position who are supporting Dr. Bawumia.
Don't you think that will affect him, though?
In what way?
Okay.
In what way? Minister said Kennedy was not in government. Kennedy was a board chairman of Ghana Gas Company. He was also in government.
All right, Honorable.
In fact, the people who are contesting today, with the exception of Kennedy Agyapong, all the four were in government. Educhun was a deputy minister and became a minister. Brian Champo was a deputy minister for national security. He became the minister for agric. Dr. Bawumia was the vice president. Kennedy Agyapong was a chairman for Ghana Gas.
Okay.
So with the exception of Kennedy Agyapong, who has not been in government, all the rest have been in government.
Okay.
So when you talk about accountability of the government, all the four of them have got questions and answers to be given.
Okay, let me just say this, that on the 31st of January, the NPP will be going to the polls to elect the flag bearer. So the race is still on, whether they change campaign messages or they don't change campaign messages, whether they decide to rebrand or they don't rebrand. the people will make a decision, and that decision that they will make will definitely take them into 2028 elections. And during that 2028 elections, Ghanaians will decide whether they'll bring the NPP back or they will maintain the NDC. So that'll be it. So let's move on to our next conversation. There's a video that I want all of us to take a look at. We've been fighting Galamsey for God knows how long. Some people say Galamsey can never be fought. Others also say that, well, we can curb it. State of emergency has been called on since God knows how long. I don't even know. When Ghanaians started calling, it's been so long. We've been calling on state of emergency. It's never happened till date. It's not happened. Previous government we were calling on state emergency. This government we've been calling on it. It's still not happening. Take a look at this video.
Fight as the livelihoods of about 4 million Ghanaians is on small-scale mining, and so it's going to be a process. It's not going to be an event. But we will not give up. We have a determination to get on top of it. The Gold Board was introduced as part of reforms. And if the Gold Board was not introduced, I mean, those who were taking the profits from the small-scale mining sector were the foreign traders who were taking that money away. In 6 months, we have exported over $6 billion. About $4 billion of that money was going to go into the private or foreign traders. And so the first thing is you shut the stable door so that the horse doesn't escape, which is what we've done. So if it's from illegal sources, it's from legal sources. At least it's our land that is being destroyed. So let us get the benefit of it instead of foreign traders. So that's the first thing. But if you go and read the Gold Board law, it has a requirement for tracking and tracing. And as I speak, the Gold Board is working with an organization to put on a track and trace system. And so they're going to see those who have legitimate license requirements so that they can assist them in responsible mining so that we can buy that gold off them. Once we do tracking and tracing, it's in our interest because then we can export under LBMA and we'll get more profit from exporting under LBMA. So the Gold Board is not just about buying gold, it's also about financing responsible small-scale mining. And mind you, small-scale mining is not illegal in this country. It's provided for in our laws. It's just that in many cases, we've not even trained the miners about what responsible mining is. You just see anybody who gets an excavator just goes anywhere and starts digging and washing. But small-scale mining takes place in Australia. It takes place in Canada. And so as I speak, we are organizing a trip for the Small Scale Miners Association to Australia. Australia has given us an invitation to bring them to come and see how small-scale mining is done without destroying the environment. And so that's something we're going to take an advantage of. And the Gold Board is leading, and the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources are leading that charge. Only recently, our Minister for Lands and Natural Resources came back from Australia. And so we need to train these small-scale miners. The gold is a blessing that God gave us.
All right, so Gold Board, as the President says, is a blessing that God has given to us. We have the PRO, Kwame Minka, this morning. Good morning, Kwame.
Good morning to you. I hope you're doing well.
I'm fantastic.
Very good morning to Honorable Inusah Fuseini as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I have other panelists here. I have Honorable Ebenezer Nate and Janet Nablia here as well.
Janet, it's been a long time. The last time I interviewed her, I was on radio. And Honorable Nablia, good to see you.
All right, thank you so much. And let me ask you this question, and we want to hear it from the horse's own mouth. If it's true, or if you can confirm that Gold Board is buying gold from illegal miners.
That is absolutely true. When you read the Gold Board law, and I entreat you to do so, you can even do a PowerPoint presentation of it on your TV so that people can have a fair idea.
We will do it one of these days.
Let me learn a fair idea of the gold that we use in our trading. I mean, the entire Gold Board construct is about asserting national sovereignty on our mineral wealth and also introducing a paradigm shift from raw extraction to value addition. And that is why when you listen to the president talk about the various innovative strategies that we are putting in place, it is all aimed at ensuring that Ghana maximizes national benefit from our gold and other mineral resources. So you heard him talk about the fact that pretty soon Gold Board will be implementing what we term as a traceability structure in order to know the source of gold. Why? Because Gold Board aspires to the LBMA standards, and you might as well share that with your viewers. LBMA is the London Bullion Marketing Association. They've got certain higher standards, and that's the reason, because of traceability, that's the reason certain countries' gold do not get the attention it needs when it comes to trading in certain countries. So because we want to meet that particular standard, we are employing technology in tracing the source of gold. And because we also want to be a part of the success story in dealing with illegal, later this morning, a press conference will be held where we will tell you steps that we are taking in supporting government, in supporting various agencies in dealing with the Galamsey menace. When you listen to my boss, my CEO, Sammy Jamfi, speak the last time at the mining conference, he was quite emphatic on various support that we are given in terms of our social responsibility in helping the various agencies deal with the illegal mining. So for now, what we have managed or successfully done is to declutter the trading sector. And that is why we came up with a vigorous licensing regime so that we'll be able to identify the gold traders, and we'll have a data that will also enable us to know the source of the gold that they buy, which is used in the trading. So if anybody should say that Gold Board purchases its gold from illegal miners, the person will be telling a blatant lie. The truth is in the details, and the details is in the Gold Board Act 1140.
Fantastic. So when should we expect this tracking system to come to being?
Okay, so let me quote my boss, my CEO, Sammy Jamfi, when he spoke the last time at the mining conference. And if you read point 25 of his speech, he says, as directed by His Excellency, the President of the Republic, the Gold Board will, before the end of this year, introduce and commence the implementation of a nationwide traceability system, which will ensure that every gram, every gram of gold purchased by the Gold Board can be traced back to its verified, licensed, and environmentally compliant mine of origin. So these keywords, environmentally compliant mine of origin, verified, licensed, must give anyone an indication what's on the mind of Ghana Gold Board in terms of the gold that we purchase in dealing with gold trading in Ghana.
All right. So in the interim, you are doing?
So in the interim, we are supporting, we are financing the various agencies that have been mandated to dealing with illegal mining. So for instance, this morning, and I'm sure your reporters will be here, will be addressing the media, and then just as my boss indicated last week, and true to his word, we are supporting with vehicle and then some funding in order for them to be able to effectively deal with illegal mining. And then if you look at the way the Gold Board object or structure is structured, it makes it even problematic for anyone who wants to trade in gold that are mined under unsustainable manner. Because as you may be aware, and lawyer Inusah Fuseini may be able to expatiate on that much later, as well as Honorable in the studio, that as you're aware, the LBMA standard is keen on gold that are mined and a sustainable manner, which means that gold that are mined in situations where children are left in a pit and there's environmental degradation sort of becomes a liability. And if that is so, Gold Board, of course, as far as this act is concerned and adhering to the LBMA standards, the structure itself discourages this form of mining and encourages mining that are done in a sustainable manner so that the country can properly assert its sovereignty on our gold and other precious minerals.
All right, Kwame, thank you so much for joining us. We are grateful. And we can't wait to have the presser done today.
Absolutely.
Have a wonderful day.
You too.
All right. So, Honorable Ebenezer, you kept on shaking your head when Kwame was speaking. What is it? What's in your head that you wanted to speak out?
Because all the things that he's saying is very laughable.
Which one is?
Which one?
Roslyn, can you tell me why Shatawale was arrested? Oh, I'm asking you.
But we are not discussing Shatawale.
No, I'm just asking you.
But we are not discussing Shatawale.
No, your answer will just be me.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
From what the statement Yoko released, it was because he was driving a stolen car that was given to him by somebody.
Right. Secondly, if I go, and Honorable Fuseini is here, if I go and pick Honorable's phone and come and sell it to you, what happens? And I'm being arrested. Will you also be arrested if they get you?
Yes.
What?
Good. So you are telling me that you are buying gold from people you claim they are doing illegal mining, and you are buying it from them. So I think from John Mahama to Minister for Lands and Forestry, and also Sami Defi should be arrested for buying illegal gold. For buying illegal gold. You see, Roslyn, the last time I said it on...
You have made Honorable Fuseini start right.
Yes. Roslyn, the last time I said it on Adom, that we should stop talking about Galamsey. Because, look, there is nothing we can do about it. You see, we are living in a country where from the clergy to the last person in this country don't think about the nation, we think about our stomach. From the clergy to the last person in this country, we don't think about the nation, but we think about our stomach. Today, Kwame is a PRO for Gold Board. I'm not attacking him personally. But we're in this country when he sat on his station and think that he said about Galamsey. Today.
But he's not promoting Galamsey, is he?
I said, we're in this country. That he spoke about Galamsey issues in this country.
Yeah, but he's not promoting
Can you
Galamsey.
let me land?
Please, okay, go ahead.
But today, this same person, today has been appointed and be given a PRO at Gold Board and buying illegal gold from Galamseyers. Are you not encouraging them to do the Galamsey? Are you not encouraging them? Your sisters still enjoy. And I think now they have stopped drinking bottled water. They now drink sachet water. They put Galamsey water and put in front of them every morning. Today, go to these stations. They have all stopped.
Oh no, but do you want to
that is why
the president said again? Do you want to listen to what the president said again? So that we don't mix words here. Is it okay?
I watched the president mix the press.
Can we play it again, please, so that we don't end up mixing words this morning? Please, let's play it again.
You see, if I'm
against illegal gold mining or Galamsey was going to be an event. I mean, definitely, there's no magic wand. The decay has eaten so much over the last 8 years that it's going to take a lot of work to be able to overcome it. And I didn't expect that in 18 months we would declare victory in the fight. As the livelihoods of about 4 million Ghanaians is on small-scale mining. And so it's going to be a process. It's not going to be an event. But we will not give up. We have a determination to get on top of it. The Gold Board was introduced as part of reforms. And if the Gold Board was not introduced, I mean, those who were taking the profits from the small-scale mining sector were the foreign traders who were taking that money away. In 6 months, we have exported over $6 billion. About $4 billion of that money was going to go into the private or foreign traders. And so the first thing is you shut the stable door so that the horse doesn't escape, which is what we've done. So if it's from illegal sources, it's from legal sources. At least it's our land that is being destroyed. So let us get the benefit of it instead of foreign traders. So that's the first thing. But if you go and read the Gold Board law, it has a requirement for tracking and tracing. And as I speak, the Gold Board is working with an organization to put on a track and trace system. And so they're going to see those who have legitimate license requirements so that they can assist them in responsible mining so that we can buy that gold off them once we do tracking and tracing.
So this is what the president said, right? He said it's a first step. To try so that it doesn't go out. We bring it in and then we introduce the tracking system. So you can go. No, I just wanted people to hear. So you can.
Look, what he said, what he said to me, I didn't see anything in it. He said, the land belongs to us. So whether it is illegal or not illegal, he is looking for money. That's what from what he's saying. That's what he's implying. That whether it is illegal mining, whether it is galamsey, all what is interested in it is that he has gotten the money. So why are we going to waste our time to talk about galamsey here? Why in this country when he was campaigning?
A minute more to lunch so that I can move. Oh, you did 5 minutes earlier, so don't worry, please.
So now, for me, then you time me. Okay.
I beg you.
We're in this country. When he was campaigning, he said he's going to use AI to deal with galamsey. He said he is going to make sure that he is going to provide polytanks to the mining communities. So they'll do galamsey, they'll do the mining very well. What has happened? 3 months in office, the first thing he did through the minister was to go and look for 75, 65, 40 years, 85 years people as yellow people.
Honorable. This is below the belt a bit. This is below the belt. They were not below the belt? But they were not please. We saw them.
No, Rosalind, look, you see, this time around, we'll go squarely by some of these things. We'll not tolerate some of these things.
So you've seen 80-year-old.
Go and check. So if you don't know, tell me you don't know. Even the one that we recently commissioned them, when the one was asked, go and ask of her age, the age that she mentioned. The one they just, the third one that they have done.
Blue water guards.
The woman, go and ask.
Anyway, you 30 seconds. Let me give you 30 seconds to learn so that.
Then you came out with another blue water guard telling us that they are whistleblowers. Then you came here again. I mean, what kind of attitude is that? We're in this country where you are castigating against this government by saying that people in the previous administration, mid-chairman and what have you are doing galamsey. When he was asked about the organizer and the first vice chairman, what was his response? When he was asked about the member of parliament, sitting member of parliament, where a whole community headed by the chief slaughtered a sheep and Paul libation, that he should not step a foot in the constituency again. What has happened to it?
Okay, Honorable, let me move.
You see, that's why I said, look, from the clergy to the last person in this country, we follow our stomach and not the interest of this country.
All right. Honorable Inusah Fuseini, so your name was mentioned, Kwame Minka said you understand the gold board more as well. And this, statement from the president is causing a bit of stir when he said that, instead of the money going out there, we are better off buying it ourselves here, keeping the money. After all, it's our land. And so if we are destroying the land, we are better off keeping the money. It's causing a stir.
No, people have not understood the principle behind the president's statement. It is called moral hazard. That somebody destroys your environment, takes away the benefits, then you have to look for money elsewhere.
To fix it.
To fix it.
Okay.
That's moral hazard. That we are better off if we have money from that activity to fix that activity. So the benefit is not gone to some people who just walk away free and leave us with the problems of their activities. So that's the principle of moral hazard. 2, what the gold board is established on the principle of having sovereignty over our own natural resources. We choose how to deal with our natural resources. Every country has an inalienable right to determine how they want to deal with their natural resources. We say, for our natural resources, and particularly gold, won from the small-scale mining sector, no person should have a beneficial right to it than government, than we the people.
So with this, will we now say that the president probably didn't choose the right words at that time?
No, he was trying to communicate.
Okay.
He can't say moral hazard.
Okay.
Probably people will not understand moral hazard. So he's trying to communicate that, look, people are destroying the environment and the minerals are for us.
But people didn't understand what he said.
That is why we are here on TV.
Okay, to explain.
To let you understand that it's founded on deep principles. Tested principles, that when somebody destroys your environment, don't allow him to walk away with impunity. Don't allow the person who is destroying your environment to come and sit on TV, display the gold that he has gotten from the destruction of the environment, and walks away without accountability. That's what he's saying. That gold is Ghana's gold, and we are entitled to it. Now, yes, it's true.
As much as we are entitled to it, we have been calling on the fight of Galamsey because we are entitled to this gold, but our water body is being destroyed.
Yes. So what do? We need a balance. Now, so let me roll back to history. Before 1989, small-scale mining was a banned activity in this country. You couldn't engage in small-scale mining. Any gold won in this country from the artisanal and small-scale mining sector was illegal. So that gold could never be sold in Ghana. It was smuggled over to Togo and other neighboring countries and sold. Now, many people, young guys, were drifting into the small-scale and artisanal mining. And mind you, small-scale and artisanal mining is not new to Ghana. That was why we had goldsmiths. Growing up, we had goldsmiths. In this country. Where were they getting their supply of gold from? From artisanal mining. Okay? Now, so in 1989, government realized that we needed to put in a regulatory mechanism that would legalize small-scale and artisanal mining.
Right.
So the Minings and Minerals Act was then brought in, making it legal to engage and making the activity exclusive to Ghanaians because it is our minerals. So no foreigner can engage in that activity. Okay? Now, so before 1989, all gold won in this country was won by large-scale miners. Have you ever asked yourself why we don't have a refinery? Because it was not in the interest of the big miners, large-scale miners, to build a refinery. So we then established the PMMC to buy the gold from the small-scale miners. Gold Board is a successor of the PMMC.
Fantastic. Now the concern is the fact that gold is being bought from these illegal miners. If if we decide to ban the buying of gold from them, won't it stop them from engaging in it?
How do you ban gold from them?
Buying, I mean.
How do you ban buying gold from them? How do you do that?
But if nobody buys it, then the value is lost.
If that activity is continuing, and nobody buys the gold from them, where will they send it to?
Honorable, but
they will smuggle out the gold.
So you are saying we should rather buy from them?
First of all,
but it's encouraging them, isn't it?
So that is why I say that we should provide a metrics for assessing government interventions. Then we can understand. If government introduces policies, we should target those policies, analyze them, evaluate their impact. Then we can see whether we are making progress. If we don't do that, then and condemn wholesale, then you are not getting it. Now, you know the Kimberley process, you've heard about it, with regards to diamonds, black diamonds.
Yeah.
That Kimberley process came in response to wars in diamond-producing areas, which was winning diamond and selling the diamond on the international market. Then they said, oh no, because we are buying the diamonds, it's fueling the wars. So Kimberley process came and said, look, let's trace the diamonds. So we don't buy diamonds on the international market from areas, that have conflict. That was how they were able to stem the tide of conflict. The London Bullion Marketing Association also operates like the Kimberley process. So if we trace your gold to a certified mine operating on sustainability basis, respecting the environment, you will have a premium. And so that is an incentive to doing things well. And I always said, why don't we give them the incentive? Because you see, it is totally unacceptable to say that we can't control illegal mining. Why? Because the activity was a banned activity. At a point we said, you can do it.
But are you controlling it?
We're controlling it.
You are?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
How?
The interventions.
But is it working?
It's working.
But we are not seeing the ripple effects then.
But the effects are not yet manifest. 8 months down the line, the effects are not yet manifest. That's why you need to give it time to
How much
mature.
Time? When should we expect it to mature?
Well, I believe that within a year or two, you will see the impact of it.
We should see our water getting better?
Better. Because the president even said in the State of the Nation address, that apart from putting water gas, we're even going to dechemicalize the water bodies.
All right, thank you.
Now, let me just, he says Galamsey cannot end. Galamsey can end. And I think Galamsey can end. Nabla, we are from the north. We know the authority of our chiefs. You know them. You're from the south, Agan. You know the authority of your chiefs. How come that this canker, this menace, has not yet attracted the ire of the chiefs?
Because some of them are involved with themselves.
Yes!
That's what I'm saying. You cannot stop.
No. So that is why we must find a way to hold chiefs responsible.
Okay.
Because
do you agree, Janet?
Okay.
Do you agree we should find a way to hold chiefs responsible?
We did not vote for chiefs. Did we vote for chiefs? We voted for a political party. And the political parties are supposed to protect life and property. And the political parties, when you turn and you look at this Galamsey size, the way they have destroyed our environment, the way they have destroyed our water bodies, and we are talking of gold. What are we going to do with the gold? No, if you have gold and die. Because Ghana Water Company Limited came out and told the entire country that as time goes on, we will not be able to process good drinking water for the whole country. And our president is saying that he's talking about gold. Why are we bringing the chiefs inside this? If we want the chiefs to be in charge, we shouldn't be voting for presidents. Do you understand? Look, during the Akufo-Addo's era, we had a seminar at a conference at the Accra Conference Center. All the various chiefs in the 16 regions, they were there. In fact, not district chiefs, they were there. And this is what they said. They said, we know that our ancestors gave us the land. No matter what, we will hide to do something. But what politics is doing to our environment now, it is heartbreaking.
So are you attributing this galamsey to politics?
Oh, yeah. It is the politicians that are mining. You've heard big political wings names being mentioned, both in the NPP and the NDC time. You've heard President Mahama saying that when he comes, he will put a state of emergency. The same person they have voted for has now changed the music. And he's dancing according to... I've heard him talk about we having a process to be able to get there. What process is he talking about? The people of Ghana said that they wanted galamsey to end now. That's why they voted for you. One of the things the NDC is not taking cognizance of is them losing votes in 2028. Ghanaians will not vote for the NDC if they don't end galamsey. Because our children are dying. Our pregnant women and women's lives are at risk. We are not talking about money. We are talking about the lives of people. And you are talking about galamsey. You are talking about, you call galamsey small-scale miners. These people are not small-scale miners. These people are, how do I call it, illegal miners. We don't have small-scale miners in Ghana. We have galamseyers in Ghana. But because they want to tame down the anger of the people, the president termed them as small-scale miners. Look at how they have destroyed our environment. Look at how Ghanaians are crying. One of the things I will do is to make sure that we report the president to the international, to the UN, section, the justice section, that they should check and see whether when a president supersedes over massive destruction of the environment and water bodies, whether we cannot tame it as genocide because you are going to kill us and punish that particular president according to those rules. Look, we will not allow people to come and take advantage over us and just walk. Time has come for, especially women, for us to take the bold decision by making sure that the right thing is done.
Are you surprised that President Mahama has still not called for a state of emergency on galamsey? Very,
very surprised. And it pains me that I've seen NDC people supporting him. This is a man, this is his last time. So he doesn't care who is coming, whether the NDC party survives or not. He doesn't care. He has come to make money. You could see his face from the presidential media encounter that day, that he was emotionless. He wasn't having emotions. So if I am an NDC member at this particular moment, I will protect my party against President Mahama. Okay. I will rise up against President Mahama and tell him that do what you told the people of Ghana you will do. We don't want the gold. Pass a state of emergency and allow this galamsey thing to stop.
Fantastic. All right. Let me read some messages. Good morning to you. Strong policies provide a clear direction for the government and ensure that decisions are made in the best interest of the country. They set the framework for economic development, social welfare, and environmental protection. Without strong policies in place, Ghana would struggle to attract investment, create jobs, and improve the standard of living for its people. Aaron Bebako Kokobmisa. According to research, religion and ethnicity is insignificant in Ghana's electoral system. You can check that from the political researchers. Dr. Bawumia stands tall among all the aspirants. That's why we, the delegates, will vote for him once again. I'm a delegate, and inshallah, he has my vote. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the next president of Ghana 2029, inshallah. This from Master Planner Junior Kintampo. Good morning, Roslyn. Tell the NPP man to take it easy. Oh, he's fine. He's fine. Let me see, what do I have here? Okay. Okay. This is from Sami Boachi Asamanka. It seems that the current administration led by Mahama is neglecting its promises, including LGBTQ plus rights, combating galamsey with AI, and fulfilling the pledge to increase the cocoa price to 6,500 Ghana cedis, which has turned out to be a scam. Moreover, the administration's vow to create jobs through a 24-hour economy and establish a women's bank appears to have been forgotten. Instead, the administration seems to be focusing on using justice and bail to punish banish officials from the previous government. Is this the true meaning of democracy? My condolences to the family of Apostle Kwadwo. Regards to Dr. Brian Agyapong. Musa Abatua from, Musa Abatua says that the NPP presidential primaries is really getting interesting, but let's be honest, so far it's only Kennedy Agyapong and Kwabena Agyapong who are presenting clear and concrete messages. The rest are only throwing around slogans and political jargons. Sadly, the establishment candidate seems losing grounds because of lack of message, aka 9P. Hey, okay. Aka can never be a message, but unfortunately, it appears more concerned about who can pump money into the system to influence them. I'll do this one for the last, and then we can wrap up. Good morning, Joy Prime. The fact that is the research data is good for planning and decision making, and this particular research under discussion is no exception. However, speaking as a strong grassroots member of the NPP, I strongly believe DMB is the best to lead at this point in time, and we are focused on that. No amount of intimidation, diversionary tactics, and data manipulations can change that. Matuk Fake Up from Bimbagu, and that will be it for our messages. I want to say a very big thank you to my guests for being here this morning. Time has flown. so thank you so much.
We can make our second.
Okay, no, but so just 1 minute and then 1 minute pointer. I'll give everybody 1 minute so that we wrap up.
So first of all, we need to understand we didn't vote chiefs, it's true. But the surface rights of lands in this country is vested in landowners. So I don't know whether Janet Nabila, if you have land and somebody comes to defecate on your land, you will run to the police station to call the police to come and arrest that person instead of taking self-help. You have the land. The lands you step into.
The self-help is what?
Self-help is if someone is coming to defecate on your land. Self-help means that you drive that person away. You protect your land before you even go to the police station. That's self-help.
If the person has police officers with him whilst he's doing that,
no, you can't do. Nobody has police officers to protect him to do an illegal thing. It doesn't happen anywhere. It doesn't happen anywhere. You can't get police officers protecting somebody to do something illegal.
30 seconds more.
So you see, that is what I'm saying. Land. There is no land in this country that is not owned by somebody. So if chiefs are sitting, we don't vote them, but they step into the shoes of their ancestors to protect the land. That's why they pour water libation to protect the land for all of us. So if chiefs do not get themselves concerned with their own land, then probably we are heading for doom.
All right.
John Dramani Mahama is providing leadership. I don't know, Ghana, it seems we don't want people who speak the truth to us, who are honest with us. And because of politics, we can say anything we want about our leaders.
All right, thank you so much, Honorable Fuseini. Janet?
So when we had the conference at the Accra Conference Center, the chiefs were there, and this is what they said. They said the galamseyers, when they go there to arrest these galamseyers, they will call police, and the police will arrest them and take their machines away. Then they will be there, Mineral Commission will call them that the person has a legal license, and then the chief will ask, a legal license to mine in our water bodies? And they said, but he has a legal license. The police will leave the person. So the person will come, be mining at your place, you'll be watching the person, and the laws of the land will be protecting the person. So what we are saying is that the chiefs can't do this because we have given too much power to the politician, and President Mahama can do anything. If he cannot fight galamsey, I'm pleading with President Mahama to give me 1 month, a woman. I will tell him how power is being used. It's like he has power and he doesn't know how to use it. If it is true, before the God we serve, President Mahama wants to end galamsey, he should concentrate on other matters and give me 1 month. And if I don't end galamsey, my name is not called Janet Nabila. Since he cannot, he should give me the chance. I will do it.
And this is from Janet Nabila. Honorable.
Rosaline.
Yes.
I still stand by my point that it will be extremely difficult for us to fight galamsey. Because, yes, I'm saying that because
he's making his point
of our selfish and our greedy interest that we have in this country. Honorable mentioned about chief, and I responded that the chief themselves are taking parts. The politicians are taking parts. The security people are taking parts. All the stakeholders who are supposed to fight galamsey are involving themselves in galamsey. And to top of it, the president is telling us today that it is better off to buy gold from illegal miners than doing proper mining. So how do we fight the galamsey?
All right. Honorable, thank you so much. I'll just read 3 messages from Facebook. Prince Kennedy Ohene Agyapong says, I'll campaign freely for the NPP if they bring Ken. Mahmoud Sadat said Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia still remains the formidable candidate for NPP. Inshallah, victory awaits him. Hassan Sise says the NPP had a lot to come explain themselves to Ghanaians, no matter who wins the flag bearer race in their party. My condolences to Safo Kantanka family and the church. That's all that I can read.